Prosperity and growth. The signs are everywhere throughout Kansas City, Kansas, and Wyandotte County. 3 major milestones, all dependent upon the state legislature, contributed to this remarkable renaissance. The foundation for this transformation came with the birth of the unified government nearly 20 years ago, when hundreds of visionary, courageous people saw signs of a dying community and labored to revive it. Kansas City Public Television chronicled the unified government story in a documentary.
For the first century of its life, Kansas City, Kansas did much of the hard work for its bigger and better-known namesake across the river in Missouri, and did it well.
A multicultural labor force created a tight-knit community of families who worked and played together until the 60s and 70s. Fueled by a national economic crisis, KCK lost 40,000 people, families fleeing high taxes, declining property values, and a crumbling infrastructure. Heeding the signs of rapid decay, 2 men, Mike Jacoby and Kevin Kelly, started a movement in the early 90s to consolidate city and county governments in hopes of strengthening their once vibrant community. It would take 5 years, however, of research, phone calls, speeches, as well as 2 passes at the state legislature to clear the way for a consolidation vote. But this community, built on a heritage of hard workers, was up for the challenge. Their persistence and tenacity paid off in 1996.
The consolidation bill passed. Republican Governor Bill Graves signed it into law and appointed a Consolidation Study Commission. That battle won. The leaders of the consolidation drive now had to win over the people who mattered most, their fellow citizens.
12,580.
And they did. April 1st, 1997, voters approved the unified government. That day was also the start of what would prove to be a catalyst for economic growth. The day of the vote, the day the people say Wyandotte County stopped dying and started growing again, that day was the first meeting with representatives of the International Speedway Corporation about a racetrack.
Come to Kansas City, Kansas, visit our community, and while you're here, enjoy some of the greatest motorsport racing in the world.
Governor Graves joined the local community and other Kansans in a video hoping to persuade Speedway owners considering both Kansas and Missouri for their NASCAR track. While the race to land the track was underway, another rebirth taking place in the county would prove instrumental to the track's success.
The legislature passed legislation which enables the Kansas University Hospital to become a public authority.
As I think back about the motivation for supporting the hospital, it was really about trying to take care of one patient at a time better than we otherwise would have if we hadn't created an opportunity for the hospital to succeed.
We were founded in 1906 and reborn in 1998. And if you can imagine, in the mid-90s, discussions on this campus were being held about selling or closing the hospital. Fortunately, we didn't do that, and now we have transformed ourselves into one of the best hospitals in the country.
How are you doing today?
The rebirth of the University of Kansas Hospital was nurtured through a change in culture led by a laser focus on patient care.
Certainly, we were able to break down barriers that had been there in the hospital for years and years.
Good morning, Dr. Brandt.
And with that laser focus, was able to turn the hospital around.
Since the authority was created, patient volume has surged 135% at the University of Kansas Hospital, all with no tax appropriations. And the track? The authority fulfilled a medical necessity for the county to win the Speedway, as NASCAR required a partnership with a nationally designated Level 1 trauma center to support the Sprint Cup Series and its drivers.
The partnership between the hospital and the Speedway was just, I don't know that I could have scripted any better what I hope to see especially for Wyandotte County.
A county that now boasts a Magnet and NCI designated hospital with 9 specialties ranked nationally on the U.S. News Best Hospitals list, as well as the best hospital in Kansas City and Kansas. A hospital that is the official healthcare provider of the Royals and Chiefs, and proudly serves the Sprint Center, as well as the Kansas Speedway. An enterprise that since its beginnings in 2001 contributes $243 million annually to the local economy and fuels a mega tourism district and more than $1.5 billion in investments that continues to transform the region and state of Kansas.
So if you're ready, let's go racing!
3 major milestones help to transform a dying community into an economic engine that supporters say is just getting started.